Hi everyone, welcome to this Facebook Live. I am Bess McCarty, bringing to you today the topic, how to optimize the holidays for year end. I call this, I subtitle this, Get Out of the Holi-Daze, D-A-Z-E, Get Out of the Holi-Daze. Because when the holidays come up, really, network marketers have a choice. Number one, I'm too busy to do this business because it's holiday time. Or number two, this is a perfect time to cash in on the holidays and explode my business. So I call this Get Out of the Holi-Daze, D-A-Z-E, and into the potential for your business at this time. We have Jeffrey David Gamble going to be a co-speaker here. I'm going to bring him on in just a moment. First, I'd like to introduce both of us. Jeff has personally recruited over 500 people frontline. He has built a team of over 11,000 people in 7 countries in 3 years, and his teams have produced over 10 million in sales in 3 years. I have been a full-time network marketer myself, but now dedicated just to coaching and teaching, generically coaching network marketers, also called the shrink of MLM because I help them get past blocks real fast. We partner to bring you these generic trainings. Today is actually a sample of our Quick Start Basics class that we teach every Sunday night at 9 p.m. It's recorded in our school, the MLM Millionaire Club School for Network Marketers. So we teach this on Sunday nights, and we thought, this is so good, we got to get it out to a lot of people. So let's do a sample of this class and give it to everybody, the public on Facebook, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So we have this every Tuesday. Today, the topic, of course, is how to optimize the holidays for year's end, or I call it how to get out of the holidays. And if you're watching the replay, we'd love if you share, or we'd love if you type in replay. Also love to hear where you're from. People get a lot out of these, and they do like, comment, tag, share, or share with other networking groups so that people could be watching live with us at the same time, because we do want to help as many people as we can. So, with that, I will bring on Jeff on camera. And Jeff, like before, since Facebook is funny with my phone somehow on Facebook Lives, my voice is not clear once you come on. So I'm going to let you come on and share about how to optimize the holidays with network marketing. And then when you exit, I will share the part that I have brought to. Okay, so here we're going to invite you on here. Ed. Okay. Busy schedule to join us, both Jeff and everybody watching.
Okay. Can you see me and hear me okay? Well, awesome. You look fantastic. Bess always dresses up, and I always look like I'm ready to go to the gym, or I just woke up and in pajamas. So today what we're talking about is Beth asked me to come on real quick and talk about the holidays. And I know a lot of companies focus a huge amount of energy on the holidays simply because the retail season, I don't know if if you've ever done the numbers on this or know the numbers, but it's like 75% of all fragrances are sold in between Black Friday and Christmas or New Year's. There's a lot of businesses that will do 60% of their revenue in a 6-week period of time. So network marketing jumped on the bandwagon and says, hey, let's do this too, because we can, produce these big checks and get a lot out there. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing bad about it. The only thing I would warn against is I was taught if you want to build something significant, you build for long term. You don't build for a season. You don't build for a sale. You don't build for a quarter. You build for a lifetime. And there's a really good video, and I'm going to try to remember exactly where it's at, but it's Simon Sinek. If you don't know Simon Sinek, he's a leadership speaker, author, does a lot of consulting with companies. And one of the things he says is, playing for the season or playing for, infinity. He calls it the infinity game. And it's basically some companies are there to produce numbers for the quarter. They push, a lot of hard sales, a lot of intimidation factor. There were companies out there that they cut the bottom 10% of the people every year and hire new people, kind of as a fear tactic to get people moving. And I'm just talking a little bit about mindset here. And then there's another mindset of, these people are talking about generations beyond, hey, the next generation of people who work here, the next group of leadership who work here, how are we going to set things up for them to take over? So some people are playing for the quarter and some people are playing for the lifetime or, multiple lifetimes. And I would say this, what are you doing in your business? Are you playing for right now? Are you playing to build something that you can hand off to someone else? And I came from a legacy company. That's where I started. I started in a legacy company that had already been established. I think at that time it had been around, I want to say 40, almost 40 years. I started in 1993 and then back up. The company started in 1959, 59, so 69, 79, 89, 99. So yeah, it was almost, 35 years in is when I got started. I was with that company for a few years, and that's what those people were talking about. They were talking about the next generation of, takeover. And I got to witness while I was there, the owners, the original founders, basically handing it off to their kids, and then their kids handing it off to their grandkids. Um, and to watch that happen was pretty amazing. They made some significant changes, but it was funny that the owners, talked about generations later. The grandparents, their kids talked about generations later, and then here their grandkids got on stage, and they were, late 30s, early 40s, already talking about when they hand off their business to someone else. And funny enough, I was just kind of, doing some research and update. They have now handed it off. So now it's gone through 4 generations of people. And it's still rocking, and they're still ranked as one of the top, I don't know exactly the number, but they're ranked in the top 3, 4, 5 companies of all time numbers, all time, people. So long term versus short term, what are you thinking about? Now, how do you optimize right now? Well, right now, what I know about the holidays is most people take off. Most people take off. Most people shut down. Most people close the book of business. Once Black Friday happens, it's like, you start making excuses actually about halfway through this month. And I say, I'm talking about me. When I was in the business, I started making excuses about halfway through this month. I was like, people aren't going to answer the phone. People aren't going to show up to meetings. People aren't going to want to come to events. People aren't going to want to listen to what's going on. And the reality is that was not true. I was basically building that into my scenario because of how I felt about what was going on. The reality is people were signing up, people were showing up, people were getting in other people's businesses. They just weren't getting in mine because I had the idea that you were supposed to take off. Now, I came from an educational family. And what I mean by that is my mom was a school teacher. So everything revolved around the school system. And what I realized is in the school system, I mean, if you, have kids, you'll know this, sometime about, Monday of this particular week, kids check out. My mom knew right away, you might be able to get something done on Monday, but by Tuesday, everybody's talking about taking off Wednesday. Some kids are already taking off Wednesday. Some kids have taken off this whole week because they're going to skip Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to then, head out. They're off, Thursday, Thanksgiving, Friday, and they're not coming back on Monday. And then you have about another 2 weeks, maybe 3, probably 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of December. But by about mid-December, what are kids thinking? Hey, we're going to get off in a couple days. And then we have, our 2-week break. Some people have a month. It just depends. College students, this, that, and the other. So most people take off the end of the year. Well, what I realized is if everybody's taking off the end of the year, there's no competition. There's no competition. I mean, you have full reins to talk to everybody, but it's how you talk to them. A lot of people are going to give you ridiculous, oh, I'm so busy. Like what, watching TV? I joke with people. Like what, watching TV? What, like what, you going shopping? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So you're already going to be out. If you're already going to be out, let's meet for coffee. I have conversations that are relevant to what's going on. Great, let's meet for coffee. I'd love to find out what are you doing for the holidays? What are you doing for the holidays? What are you getting your significant other? And if they say nothing, there's a good sign to, introduce your product. Like, hey, I'd love to be able to share some stuff with you. But again, hey, just do me a favor. And it's the perfect time you say, hey, do me a favor. I want to tell you about what I'm working on. So if you run into anyone over the holidays, you'd be able to refer them to me. Well, in saying that, then they're kind of stuck because you're like, you can't obviously tell them about it afterwards and then still refer people during the holidays if they don't listen now. So what happens is you just want to condense everything. You want to condense everything, make it shorter, make it more to the point. And I mean, I try to say this the nicest way possible because we live in the I live in the Midwest. Bess is kind of in the mid. Kansas is considered the Midwest, isn't it? The plains. What everybody here is so the easiest way to say it is they're too nice. We're too nice. We give people too much time. I don't know if it's because we come from a farming background where it's like, we'll get to that next season. In California, in Florida, in New York, people are kind of in your face. They're very punctual, and they're very quick to cut you off and say no now. What I can say is develop that sort of mentality where it has to be right now. Hey, when's the soonest we can get together? When can we talk? Somebody just texted me their phone number, and they're like, oh, you can get to me after the holidays. I'm like, no, we need to talk before the holidays. Oh, okay, here's my number. It was just basically saying, no, this is important enough to have a 10-minute conversation. Boom, got the phone number. So here's the word, be more aggressive about getting in front of people. Don't be aggressive about selling or closing people. The aggression needs to become, hey, you're on a mission. You have a goal to educate people. I have a goal to educate as many people as possible about what I do. The holidays do not change that. In fact, the holidays may speed it up because there's going to be more people that I can get in front of that I can start having these 10-minute conversations, which leads me to the next most important part is when you're going to introduce your company, your product, your service. Is it the appropriate time? If you're at a Christmas party and everybody's been drinking for an hour, that's not the time to start bringing up what you do and, get out a napkin and draw it out. The music is going, everybody's kind of having a good time, and all of a sudden you break into salesman mode. Wrong time. It's great to go through that party and grab everybody's phone number and say, hey, we should talk after this party sometime. Great, what are you doing? Oh man, I'm working on something really important outside of my work. Great, what are you doing? Not the appropriate time to go into it. It's something I really need to sit down and show you what I'm doing because I'd love to be able to, get your feedback, and I really want to show you what we do. So if you ran into the right person, you can refer them. That's it. I don't give the name. Here's the thing. A lot of people are like, well, I'm dropping hints to people. Guys, this is not a crossword puzzle. You guys are playing charades with people and wondering why they're not getting in. People do not get in on charades. They don't get in on hints. You need to, here's my rule. If I can't show them everything, I show them nothing. Meaning, if I can't present the whole opportunity, I present nothing. Nothing. I don't give them a name. I don't give them a business card. I don't say, go look at this website, because what I know is I want to get in front of this person and I want to give myself the best opportunity possible to get the information in front of them. So that way it's the full information, it's the total information, and there's no distractions. Which brings me to the point again, if you are sitting down with somebody and you're trying to share this with them and they're running late and they're doing this and they're checking their phone and they're not really paying attention for that 10-minute presentation, then maybe it's not the right time. So the art of this is knowing the right time. The science is having the right order and the right words. If you have the right order and you have the right words, that's great. But if you have the right order and you have the right words at the wrong time, it doesn't work, because then people aren't focused. They can't catch on. The reason you need the right words and the right order is because people will will buy from people who are clear, who are concise, and who are confident. People will buy from you. Even if you've had no success before, if you're clear, if you're concise, and you're confident in a presentation about what you're doing, people will buy from you. They'll want more information. But if you're not clear, what happens? Well, people are like, it doesn't I'm just not getting the feeling. People say, well, I'm just not getting the feeling this person really knows what they're doing. I'm getting the feeling that this person really isn't committed. I got the feeling that this person told me 10 minutes, and here they are an hour later telling me how great their grandmother thinks this is. The grandma story has nothing to do with the presentation in reality. Here's the thing. How much you like the product is not usually going to sell the person. If you look at psychology, if you look at statistics, honestly, your testimonial with a friend is not as good as a third party's. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. One exception to the rule is if you're sitting down and somebody's like, man, you look completely different. And what I mean by this is there are some companies, for those of you who don't know, 50% of network marketing is weight loss and the health industry. 50%. 50% of all the companies, 50% of all the products, 50% of all the sales are weight loss. The reason being is it's very hard to fake the fact that you lost 25, 30, 40, 50 pounds. If I say, hey, I just lost 50 pounds, people would be like, no, you didn't. I can see, it's very obvious you didn't lose 50 pounds. Because if I lost 50 pounds, I'd disappear, or I'd look like those skeletons in front of people's porches on Halloween. But I have a friend recently that lost 42 pounds. It is obvious in her pictures. Even fully clothed, sweater, pants, everything. It is obvious she lost 40 pounds. She is signing people up like crazy. Why? Because people are walking up and saying, oh my gosh, how did you? And the other thing is she lost it in about 120 days. That's a quick period of time. So she has what they call social proof, but she also has physical proof. Physical proof. Now, that works in a weight loss company, but it doesn't always work in every other situation. Certain people in our industry try to do it with money. They'll bring the check and say, hey, look at what I made. That's great, but did you have influence to do that? Was there some weird circumstances? The problem is you're showing your check to somebody, and then somebody else gets in and doesn't have that same success. So what are they going to show people? Hey, I might have a check. Here's my check. Well, your check's in crayon. Why is it in crayon? Why is it written on a notepad rather than written on a real check? You know what I mean? You don't have the ability to duplicate it the same way. I like proof and signing people up. That's good. Hey, look at my numbers, look at their numbers, look at everybody's numbers. But when it's a physical proof, it makes more sense. But what I do is I go off of the program and I try to use a third party testimonial rather than a first party. Why is that? Because everybody has the use of the third party testimonial. That's what the videos are for. I think that's the best use of a video in a company is I do my presentation and somebody says, yeah, I'm not sure. I want some more information, because that's one of the questions we ask. And then I send them the video and the video backs up everything I said. So now it looks like I'm more credible. Now it looks like I'm clearer in what I'm saying. I'm concise in what I'm saying, and I'm confident in what I'm saying because I say the same thing that the video says. Now it looks like this is one thing that I strive for in business is congruency. You don't want to be saying one thing and your company saying another. That tends to not work out real well in the end. You don't want to be saying something completely different than your upline. Why? Because it's not congruent. That will end up biting you in the end because then people get that feeling like, this just doesn't sound right. That person said one thing, this person says another. And that happens a lot inside the industry. The company will come out rah, rah, rah about the product and you guys will be building the opportunity or vice versa. It all works together. It's just what are they promoting at the time? You have to be smart enough during the holidays to figure out which one's which. So here's my rule. I don't build for the holidays, I build for long term. But I use the holidays to increase what I'm doing because A, I know nobody's working during this time. Most people take off. B, more people are happy during this time. More people are happy during this time. They're excited they're going to see people. They're excited they're taking off work. They're excited they might get a gift. Now, I will also tell you this. There's a certain amount of people, there's a small percentage of people that actually this is a hard time for them. This is a hard time for them. It brings up bad feelings of being alone, bad feelings of having bad family situations, bad feelings of having to be around people they don't necessarily like. So have those conversations with people, find out where they're at. Hey, are you a holiday? But we have a person in our office that is not a holiday person. They're like, yeah, I really don't like. And I kind of knew probably what it was, but I just asked. I was like, really? Why do you not like the holidays? Well, I just had some really weird situations growing up and this, that, and the other thing. And I know there's, substance abuse in the family. So I made the connection real quick. I said, oh, did you experience these type of, yeah. I was like, so I got a question for you. She has kids. I said, are you passing along that feeling to your kids? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, think about it. If you're always down during the holidays, don't you think that you're passing that on? She's like, I never thought about it. I was like, well, do you think that's a good thing? She's like, no, probably not. So we're trying to get her to recognize, hey, there is a different way to go about it. And it doesn't mean you have to be super crazy excited during the holidays. That's not what we're saying. But what feeling are you giving out? Certain people don't have a great, if you come in, oh my gosh, isn't the holidays the best time of year? And people are like, no. Be smart enough to recognize what they just said and have a conversation with them before you try to make them excited about the holidays because your company's having a promotion. Just because your company has products on sale, here's what I think. If your company has a bunch of products on sale, the best thing you can do is buy some of them yourself. Be your own best customer. Be your own best customer. Get a couple extra and think about this. Who could you give out samples to? Who could you get this and give out samples to? That's kind of what we did. As I said, rather than trying to force other people to buy this, what I did is we went through our family and found a list of everybody that would probably like a present from us. And it just so happened that the product was from our company. And it was such a cool way to introduce it to people because people would literally open up a package and a present and they'll be like, oh, wow, this is so cool. I was involved in a skincare company at one point. That's one of the companies that went around, into all these different countries. It was a skincare company. So here's what I know. People actually like getting skincare stuff for the holidays, especially something that would smell good, especially something that, would be enjoyable, relaxing, fun. So that's what we did is on Black Friday, we saw all these packages. I was like, rather than trying to force this, now I did let everybody know, but I told my team, I said, rather than try to force sales, why not self-consumption? Why not buy extra yourself to be able to give out presents? Who are you buying a present for? So that's what we focused on. And we went, I want to say the first year, I think we did $50,000. That was before I even realized that I was doing anything or in. The next year, I know we did 100. And then I think the following year, we did $250,000 in one day in sales. It was insane. All of a sudden you saw, first thing in the morning as the ticker, we could update our phone. And I mean, the updates were coming in and people were signing up because they also did like a special sign up thing. I want to say in that 2-week period of time, one of the last year when we had the biggest team, I want to say 600 or 800 people joined in one day. So when you talk about how big can it get, how fast can it get? I mean, some people, their lifetime goal is 600 people. This happened in 24 hours. So that's just, what's possible. That's kind of what I have as, my thought towards the holidays, towards Black Friday is build for long term. Use to your advantage that you're going to be around people. Use the script we talk about. Hey, I need a huge favor. I'd love to tell you about what I'm doing. So if you run into the right person, if you have discounts on products, be your own best customer. Get stuff for yourself, get stuff for your spouse or significant other, get stuff for your immediate family. Think about who you can give it out to, and think about that one person. Christmas presents, exactly. Ignacio has it. I mean, that's what we were talking about. I was like, hey guys, we could do a lot of our Christmas shopping right now, a lot of our holiday shopping. If you're giving away presents in an office, or watch this, if you do a white elephant, another great idea. If you don't know what a white elephant is, look it up. It's a party where everybody buys a present, wraps it up. You don't know, and then somebody opens it and you can take it away. It's kind of, everybody has different rules to it. So I learned that the hard way. We tried to do best. We actually did this for Christmas. Is I went out, I bought, I want to say we had 60, actually I've got a video of it on, there's 60 some people or maybe 70 some people who showed up to a Christmas special we did. And what I did is I went and I bought personal development. So we found amazing book stuff and we wrapped everything. So what people did is at the end of the seminar, everybody went in and they pulled something out and they went up to the front of the room, they opened it and, basically told everybody what it was. The next person went in, opened it, and they either got to keep the one the person and trade it. They could trade. So this went on the whole evening and everybody walked out with a blast. Such a great time. Actually, we should do that again at our event. That would be a lot of fun. So that's what I have for the holidays. I hope that helps out. And I'm going to jump off here and let you finish up so that way interference with Facebook. Thanks, guys. Have a great Tuesday.
Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. Those were great tips, and I got some more. First, I want to say hello, welcome to Jan and to Ignacio. And I knew how to wave back. I would. Oh, thank you, Ignacio. We gotcha. We get your message. Thank you for jumping on. Ignacio is a student in the MLM Millionaire Club, our school for network marketers that Jeff and I partner to teach with. I'm dressed up like this because it's about the holidays, so I wanted to be festive and I wanted to be holiday-like. Ignacio might have just gotten $1 million idea here. He says, give out our products as Christmas presents. I love it. Win-win. Exactly. What a wonderful way to share it and to help people learn about, what a giving and loving way to share what you do. So thank you very much. Something I just got now was the urgency. Why wait? And if we say, well, why wait? People can respond to that. But if they say, oh, well, wait, they'll often forget or, lose enthusiasm. So, let's eliminate the waiting. Today I just got a text from a friend. I was driving from one town to another town. I had an appointment in one town. I was driving back home, but I happened to check my text, and my friend from Kansas City was in town, in my little town in western Kansas. And she said, I happen to be in town right now. I thought, oh my gosh, I've got like 30 minutes before I really have to be home and get on the live here for our MLM Lunchtime Leadership Show at 11 my time. So I thought I got 30 minutes. So I drove to her house, or her father's house, where she was visiting for Thanksgiving real quick. And we got to visit 30 minutes, and then I jumped on. Now, I don't have time to do that. But that spontaneous text right then, it's like, wow, she's in town. I'm in town. I got 30 minutes. I could potentially go and visit with her in person. So we did that. So people can do that. They can make, oh, I got a few minutes here. I can squeeze this in, or I could meet for coffee, like Jeff was saying. Oh, you're out anyway. Let's meet for coffee. You take a shopping break and meet for coffee. And at that point, you can ask them, hey, the favor script. Hey, can I ask you a favor? I want to let you know what I do in case you run across somebody over the holidays that you could refer them to me. I just love that. I didn't put that together before. And the urgency. Those are my three little takeaways that all fit together with this. So I do have some more to share. I'd love to share. And if anyone has questions, please type that in. If you're watching the replay, I'd love if you type that in too. Also like to hear where you're from. Now, Ignacio, I know you're from El Paso, New Mexico. Anyone else watching here? I love the hellos, likes, comments here. If you're getting value, let's share this around. Let's tag people. While Jeff was speaking, I just tagged a few more friends, or invited a few more friends on. So that's a good way to do it. So a few more holiday ideas that I have. Again, I'll repeat what I said in the beginning. That excuse me, at the holidays, network marketers have two choices. One is to say I'm too busy to build my business, and the other one is to cash in on this perfect time. Excuse me a minute. I call it getting out of the Holi-Daze, D-A-Z-E, Holi-Daze, D-A-Z-E. And we wake up and we say, hey, I could do this. What a perfect time. Because shoppers are looking for gift ideas right now. So you could let people know to remember you and your product line. People are looking for gift ideas. They want to buy. They have their credit cards out. So you could let them know what you have. Help them, give them a way to remember you and your line, to give them as gifts, besides you giving them as gifts, of course. There are also people out looking to make extra money at the holidays for Christmas presents or to pay off credit cards afterward. So some people would like to give the gifts, but they'd also like to get the distributor discount. So that's another advantage of talking with them about the business at this time. And of course, that could also lead to the business. So if we give our, Ignacio says, if we give our products out for Christmas, make sure you include your links to your recipients. Don't just order from the company. Good one, Ignacio, yeah. So give them your own special back-end company link when they love your products, because they will, so they can reorder. Awesome. Another reason not to give out the name of the company, right? Like Jeff was saying, until you get a chance to do the presentation. Hello, Debbie. Welcome. Glad you're here. How are you? So we're talking about helping people remember your gifts as Christmas presents, giving them as Christmas presents, and helping people who are looking for a way to make extra money to pay for their gifts or pay for their credit cards, to pay for the holidays. And anyway, the New Year's is a time when a lot of people think of starting a business. So that is also another good time. Hey, you got credit cards to pay off? Let me, I want to share with you what I'm doing. Maybe this could be an idea for you. But even focusing more on the favor script. So here's an idea for the favor script too that Jeff mentioned. The favor script is, can I ask you a favor? I want to let you know what I do in case you run across the right person. You could refer them to me. So you could say that with your friends now, so they could watch out for holiday parties they go to. But also, when you're at the holiday parties, there's an opportunity there to use the favor script and to actually get more customers and recruits. And Debbie is here in between massage clients. Awesome, I'm glad you could pop on. I sent Debbie's one of the people, and Ignacio one of the people that I sent a little invite to here. That helps the tickle in my throat. So here's an idea for when you're at parties. What if you could add 10 more customers, in your choice of whether I'm too busy or if we're going to optimize this season, you could realize, what if I could add 10 more customers and 5 more recruits before the year ends just by partying? What if you could do that? Well, here's how that's possible. You know that you're going to be attending a bunch of social events, right? Parties and dinners and things like this between Thanksgiving and New Year's. And you're going to see family and friends that you probably don't often see that much. So what an opportunity to meet with them and share. But just like Jeff said, you don't launch into your presentation right there. That would turn everybody off. However, you can chat with them and say, what are you into now? What's new with you? What are you doing? And listen to them. Now, 95% chance they're going to ask you that in return. Hey, what are you doing now? Well, as a matter of fact, I'm into something. I'm into something new that I'm quite excited about, or I'm taking my business to the new level. I'd love to share that with you. If you run across the right person, wait for the, yeah, okay. I think the internet connection timed out for a moment. But what you can say is, I would love to share with you what I'm doing that's new in case you run across the right person over the holidays, that you could refer them to me. And say, okay, well, what is it? Well, now's not the right time, but how about if we meet for coffee tomorrow morning? And I could share this with you briefly then. So you set up a time at that time. Get the contact information if it's somebody new. But you can book a time right then to talk about them later and tend to the party. So like Jeff said, there's an art to the timing. When is the right time? Not when everybody's busy and should be giving their attention to each other. But here's another little tip. As you're talking with people, you can listen to the problems that you can solve. Like Jeff mentioned, a whole lot of them might be concerned with health, weight loss, aging, bills. You might hear about foreclosures. You might hear talk about tough bosses. You might hear them talk about unemployment, not enough time with their family. They don't agree with the ethics that are happening at their job, or they hate their alarm clock, or they have 2 or 3 jobs, or they have student loans to pay off, or they're tired of not having enough money in their retirement. So you can just notice these things, and even if you don't ask them for the favor script there, you can call them up later or text them later and say, hey, I would like to let you know what I do in case you run across the right person. You could refer them to me. Is this a good time to talk? Or tomorrow for coffee, is that a good time? When you do your presentation with them at that time, you could cover the things that they mentioned about. You don't have to exactly address them directly, but you could cover them. That's an indirect way of presenting to them along the lines of what they need. Now that 10-minute presentation should, that we did, Jeff and I teach, he designed this, and I included that in my Always Get a Yes book. So that 10-minute presentation should then include 5 things. And it should include the information about the company, the need, the product, the comp plan, and the timing. So these should be bullet points approved by your company that then you could tell the person. And under the need part, you could make sure that you mention the things that they mentioned that they need. So, their ears will perk up if you mention that it helps with weight loss, if you know that's an issue that they're working with, or health, or how it, helps somebody to fire their bad boss, or to be home with their kids, or pay off a student loan. So those are things that you can mention in your 10-minute presentation, so you can indirectly address what you heard them say at the party. So those are our ideas for the holidays, how to optimize the holidays to have a fantastic year end. We hope that this helped, and that you can look at the holidays in a new way and get out of the Holi-Daze, D-A-Z-E, into awareness of how this can be a wonderful time for your business. Like Jeff was saying, if we assume that people are going to be too busy to talk with us or won't return calls, well, they'll be returning somebody else's calls. There are people joining businesses right now. And I actually look at the holidays as a break from my regular schedule. Like, okay, I have time over the holidays. I'm off my regular schedule, or off my the fast pace that I'm moving. So I look at that as an off time. So why not? There's a lot of people who do. So why not be available for the people that might be available for you? You could change a life by not hiding out, or not assuming people are not going to be available to talk. This show that you're watching now is a sample of Jeff's and my class, a Quick Start Basics class that we teach on Sunday nights for network marketers. It is recorded, there are replays. The class should be, well, everything that we give in the class, and the coaching that we do on the class, and all the tools that we give should be valued at several $100s a month. But what we're doing is we're only charging $25 a month to make this available to as many people as we can. We have people jumping on that class, joining it. It's been quite popular. And Sunday night, our last one of the members said, I have to tell you, my sales have quadrupled from last month to this month, and I'm almost to my next rank because of the help that you guys gave me. And she's using the favor script and all that, and all the other tips that we give in the class. So we were very, very happy to hear that. Not the first time. People have been jumping ranks and saying what a boost this has given to their business. So we know we're on the right track. We know we're teaching stuff that really works and gets results. So I will post a link, but if you like it now, if you'd like to check it out, just check it out. You could private message